So let's say hypothetically you wanted to get the Bible on your terminal. You wanted to, for example, read the Bible inside of your terminal, so you do not have to go and buy one. You can just read one inside of your terminal. Well, the type of Bible that I'm going to showcase to all of you today is the King James Bible. Now, if you do not know what that is, the King James Bible is a Bible that was appointed approximately by 50 of the best Bible scholars and linguists of the day of King James I of England. And the work in its entirety took about 7 years. Upon its completion, it was presented by King James I in 1611. The reason I'm telling you this is I need to specify which version of the Bible we're talking about, because there are multiple versions of the Bible. So today's topic is the King James Bible. The King James Bible was actually originally called the Holy Bible, containing the Old and the New Testament. It's like an abbreviation of it. It's a shorter version. The full title, I'm not gonna even bother reading that because it's like a really long title. But all you have to remember is it's just called the King James Bible, and it's mostly known by a lot of people. The purposes of that version are pretty much to replace the popular Geneva translation, but it took a lot of time for it to spread. So with that explained, there are actually a few more things. So as explained, it contains both the Old Testament and the New Testament. And as an example, there are a few books in the Old Testament, for example, Genesis, and then that's in the Old Testament. And then in the New Testament, you have, for example, Matthew, Mark, or Luke. So those names will be important for later. All I wanted to mention are that there is both the Old Testament and the New Testament. So what's actually the purpose of today's video? Well, the purpose of today's video is actually this little project on GitHub by WALLPAPERS over on GitHub, as mentioned, and it's pretty much it gives you the ability to read the word of God from your terminal. Now, I'm going to show you the method that a lot of people will use to install this, because it is not available with your package manager. Those of us who use Manjaro, Linux, or Arch-based distributions, we can get it from the AUR by simply doing yay-s and installing the King James Bible like that, or kjv-git. But a simple version for pretty much every Linux user is to simply make the file. So what I have prepared here is actually these commands here. So what you want to do is you want to clone the repository. I don't think I have it downloaded. It doesn't appear to me that I have it downloaded or cloned at all. So to clone it is actually really easy. You do git clone, and you pretty much copy and paste the commands that will be down in the description. So I'm currently cloning it into my home directory. After you've cloned it, you wanna cd into it, so it's kjv. Once you're in it, you can check if all the files are there, and you should have a make file, a readme, and stuff like that. The only thing left to do for you is to run make on it, and it will create a executable binary for you. As you can see, it was really quick. And the thing that we have is a KJV binary. Oops. So you can see we have a KJV file that wasn't there before. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually want to copy the file to a directory so we can call it directly from our terminal. To do that, you do sudo cp-r and say KJV for the King James Bible, the binary file, and you want to put it inside of your bin directory. So bin, just like that. Once you do that, it will ask you for a password. So you're gonna type in your root password, and we should be good to go. Cannot override directory. Yeah, I actually have it inside of there already. So it will not show you this error if you're doing this the first time, but it will work in your case. So what can we exactly do with the King James Bible? Well, what we can do is we can actually get some help on it or do some things with it. So for example, you can do, as he mentions over on GitHub, we can do, you guys can't even see it, we can, for example, list all the books, which is really easy to do. All you do is you type in KJV, KJV -L, this will list all the books. And if you paid attention, I mentioned that there was the Genesis, which is there, the Exodus is as well in there, but I also mentioned other things. So for example, let's look for Matthew. Is Matthew here? He should be in here somewhere. If he is, I cannot see him, but I can see Luke, Mark, and John. There is Matthew even, so it is in there. And what we can do, thanks to the KJV, we have all these books in here, which is really cool. But let's say we want to open them. Let's say we want to open the Genesis. It's one of the more known ones. So if you want to open up the Genesis, all you do is you type in KJV and GE or Genesis. So let's do Genesis. It will open up the entire Genesis for you, so you can pretty much read through this inside of your terminal. There are all those sections of the Bible that you can read through, which is cool, but let's say you don't remember fully. You just know there are just, the GE. Well, you can use just GE and it will open up Genesis for you, which is something really cool. One really neat thing is that if you look in the brackets, it actually shows you what you have to type in order to open it. Let's say we want to open Exodus. So to open Exodus, you do KJV and then you do Exo for Exodus, and it will open up the Exodus, and you can pretty much read through this. Also Vim keys work, so you can use J to scroll down, K to scroll up. There's also word wrapping and such, like many other different things you can do with it. For example, you can do KJV-H to list out help, which will give you all the things you can do. For example, we can disable line wrapping, sorry. So let's say we want to open up the Exodus, for example, or the Genesis again. Let's do the Genesis again. Great, it's not letting me remove it. So let's do KJV and let's do the Genesis, but let's add in the big W. As you can see, it doesn't know the reference, so you need to actually put the parameter before you do this. Okay, cool. It's not working currently, and I get chatter. So KJV, so the parameter must go before it, and then you do the Pokemons, for example Genesis. As you can see, it's all messed up. There's no formatting, and one of the advantages of reading it like this is you can have like bigger text, so it can fit like one-liners in your terminal. But again, that's only if you like it. I actually prefer the original. So let's open up Genesis again, and you have it in this nice formatted form of text. You can even use your arrow keys to have a look at it. And you have pretty much every single book of the Bible in it. And you have both the New and the Old Testament. So you pretty much have no excuse now to not read the Bible. If you haven't read it, go ahead, read it. I would highly recommend it to anyone to do so. I actually read the Bible, but not the King James Bible, which from what I learned, I should read. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank all of you for joining me today, and I will link both the GitHub repository and I will link the GitHub repository down there in the description, along with the commands to build it. The commands to do the builds and to copy it, that's what I meant by that. So yeah, and with that, I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and I noticed that we recently reached 160 subscribers, so thank you for that, and let's keep it growing. I am really pleasantly pleased and surprised by all of this. which lets me know that you people pretty much like this sort of content. So yeah, again, thank all of you for joining me, and I will hopefully see all of you guys in the next video.